Have you ever wondered what would happen if the oceans we know, covering over 70% of the Earth's surface and containing about 97% of the planet's water, suddenly turned from salty to freshwater? At first, it might sound like a dream come true. Imagine unlimited freshwater for drinking, agriculture, and industry. No more salt ruining your crops or corroding pipes. But what seems like a blessing at first glance is, in reality, one of the most catastrophic scenarios imaginable. The first and most immediate victims of such a sudden change would be marine life. You see, nearly all ocean species are finely tuned to survive in saltwater. Fish, crabs, shrimp, plankton, and even microscopic algae depend on the specific salinity of seawater to regulate their biological processes. Without the salt, their cells would be unable to maintain the right balance of water and electrolytes, leading to massive die-offs within days or weeks. Coral reefs, the most diverse ecosystems on Earth, would bleach and collapse almost instantly, destroying habitats for countless marine animals. And that's just the beginning. It's not just ocean life at risk. Saltwater is denser than freshwater, and this density difference drives the circulation of ocean currents around the globe. These currents, known as the thermohaline circulation, act like a giant conveyor belt, transporting heat from the equator to the poles, regulating global climate, and keeping Earth's weather patterns stable. If oceans became freshwater, this circulation would break down completely. Imagine hurricanes in unusual places, freezing winters in tropical regions, scorching summers at the poles. The climate would become chaotic, unpredictable, and extremely dangerous. Even the chemistry of the oceans would be disrupted. Salt contains minerals like sodium, magnesium, and calcium, which help regulate the chemical balance of seawater. Without salt, certain minerals would precipitate and settle at the bottom, causing massive changes in ocean chemistry. These changes could affect nutrient cycles, plankton reproduction, and even the oxygen content of the water. A world with freshwater oceans might also see the collapse of phytoplankton populations, which produce over 50% of the Earth's oxygen. Yes, the very air we breathe could be impacted. The consequences for humans would be severe. Coastal cities rely on the oceans not only for food but also for commerce, tourism, and transport. Fisheries would collapse overnight, triggering food shortages for millions. Shipping routes could be disrupted because freshwater oceans have different buoyancy and density properties, potentially affecting navigation. Even desalination plants designed to remove salt from seawater would face unprecedented challenges as the chemical balance changes. Then there's the effect on the ocean floor and tectonic stability. Salt acts as a lubricant for certain geological processes. Without it, there could be increased friction in tectonic movements, possibly affecting underwater earthquakes and volcanic activity. Some scientists speculate that changes in seawater density could even affect Earth's rotation and ocean tides, though these effects are harder to predict precisely. You might think, okay, but at least humans would have more drinking water. And yes, technically freshwater oceans could provide a temporary abundance of water, but the domino effect would be far worse. Collapsing ecosystems, disappearing food chains, extreme weather, oxygen shortages, and geopolitical chaos due to scarce resources. In reality, this scenario would likely be more devastating than any natural disaster humanity has ever faced. Consider the impact on global temperatures. Oceans act as a giant heat reservoir, absorbing excess heat from the sun. Saltwater has a higher heat capacity than freshwater, which means it can store more heat without changing temperature drastically. If the oceans became freshwater, heat absorption would be less efficient, potentially accelerating extreme temperature spikes and intensifying climate change. Even simple things we take for granted would change. The familiar taste of the sea, the way waves behave, the way ships float, all of these are determined by salt. Freshwater oceans would feel completely alien, and even coastal ecosystems like mangroves, estuaries, and tidal pools would be thrown into chaos. In short, salty oceans are not just a feature of our planet. They are the foundation of life itself. They regulate climate, sustain marine biodiversity, stabilize ecosystems, and even influence human civilization. A world of freshwater oceans might seem like a fantasy, but it would actually be a planetary disaster of unprecedented scale. So next time you sip a glass of fresh water or swim in the sea, remember, The salt in the oceans is keeping life on Earth alive in ways most of us never realize. Without it, the world we know, the waves, the fish, the weather, even the air we breathe, would never be the same again. Imagine standing on a beach where the water is crystal clear and freshwater. It looks peaceful, calm, and inviting. But beneath that serene surface lies a world that can no longer support life as we know it. A beautiful apocalypse in disguise. That's what a freshwater ocean would truly mean. Are you ready to imagine it? Because if the oceans we love became fresh water, everything would change. From microscopic plankton to the biggest hurricanes. From coastal cities to global climate. The oceans we know and depend on would vanish. And with them, a delicate balance that has taken billions of years to evolve. If you enjoyed this video and found these facts fascinating, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, SpecuSpark, and join our amazing world of discoveries and science adventures. Every day, we dive into the secrets of nature and the universe to uncover shocking facts you've never known before.